you're never gonna try to stop on it. Because what happens if I'm trying to stop, I'm slowing down, right? So I don't want to slow down. That being said, I don't want to finish it like I finished a race on a track and just run for miles, because what if they've overthrown first? And then I'm way down here and I realize it, now I gotta try to get to second, right? So what I want to do is I want to run to first, and if I'm getting the message run through, which again is one of only 3, you're gonna get run through, turn and look, go to second. Run through, I'm not gonna slow down until I've touched the bag, and then I'm gonna stop somewhat as quickly as I can, and I'm looking at my right corner of my eye. I'm looking this way. What am I looking for? The ball. The ball. If the ball was overthrown, now I know I'm going. So when I get through here, as fast as I can, I kind of stop as quickly as I can, get back, get on the bag. Unless my coach is screaming, go to second, right? The other thing I don't want you to do is come through the bag, okay, I made it, and then you come back into the field of play. Now, if she's got the ball, she can tag you. Technically, you have to be making an attempt to go to second, but that's the umpire's discretion. If he feels you made an attempt and then decided I'm gonna go back to first and you get tagged out, you're out, okay? That said, once you're on the base, I think it's important for people who've not played before to know that you come off the bag, you can get tagged out. So if I'm standing here and I step off, they're gonna tag you out. Really in softball, you get off the bag without the pitch being thrown, you're out anyway. So it's important that once you get on the bag, now you stay there until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, okay?
You keep one, but on the very end.
So the way I like to teach it is, if this is my bag, I want to be right here. My left foot in, my right foot back, kind of a little momentum going. I'm not up here on it. I'm not like this. I'm just right here, touching the edge of the bag, and I'm watching the pitcher. And right as she's coming around and about here, I'm starting. Now I still can't leave the bag until the ball leaves her hand, but I'm at least getting momentum going towards the second base. And then as the ball leaves her hand, I'm already off. I'm not standing here flat-footed. Oh, ball left her hand, now let me take off. Right? I'm getting a little momentum going.
And if the catcher catches it, you just go after first?
So yes, absolutely. So you're here, she pitches the ball, you're here, oh, she's caught it, I need to come back.
Can they get you out if she catches it and then?
If she catches it and throws it down and they tag you, you're out.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yes, but normally that's when you like dive back.
But you got to get back quickly. So that's another command. Another command you'll hear while on first is back, back, back. If we're screaming back, that means forget everything, get back. If we tell you to go, go. Now a lot of times, especially experienced ball players, will be, well, I didn't think I could make it. Well, that's not for you to decide at this point. If your base coach tells you to go, you go. Because what you don't realize is there may be another reason I'm sending you. So if I have, for example, obstruction, if I know that the umpire put his hand out and said we have obstruction, meaning somehow this fielder obstructed you, I'm gonna say, don't stop, go ahead and go. And you get halfway, you see second base has the ball already, go. It does not matter. You keep going, and when you get there and she tags you out, the umpire's gonna go, we had obstruction, go back to first, you're safe. Okay? If you go and you tag second, somehow she drops the ball or doesn't tag you, then you're safe, and you've just earned a free base for absolutely nothing but listening to your base coach and hustling, right? So if you're told to go, go. What I personally might be doing is telling you to go because I'm hoping they throw you out. Because we got a runner on third that's fast, and if they're throwing you out at second, we're bringing her home to score. So there may be reasons why we're sending you to go, and it may not look like the best idea, and sometimes it may not be, and if we're wrong, that's on us, so don't worry about that, okay? Any questions so far? I know it's a lot of information. So when running, if we're telling you to go to second or turn and look, with your outside foot, not your inside. If I plant my inside foot here, I'm probably gonna fall. So I'm gonna touch just the corner of the bag. I'm gonna go. If we're saying turn and look, Blake, what's turn and look like? Show me turn and look. Just come down, come down. Turn and look, turn and look. So you're gonna touch the bag and you're getting out there with a little more enthusiasm, a little bit. Like, come here. First of all, touch the bag with your right foot, not your left foot. Go, 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 go. Turn and look, turn and look. So she's out there and she's just on the balls of her feet, surveying the situation, right? Out here like this. Like, okay, am I gonna go? Am I not? And then you might hear a go from one of us saying, go ahead and take off. We're gonna make them throw you out. If we got a catcher who doesn't have a great arm, and maybe they don't show us a lot of skill at second on catching and tagging, we may say go. We may gamble and say you might get thrown out, but we'll take that risk and see what happens. Okay? So, what do we do?
Before we get too far, you want to talk about the difference in first base with the orange and the white?
Oh yeah, we do have a safety bag at first. So the safety bag is important to avoid collisions. This is where most collisions happen on the base other than at home, right? So the safety bag is the orange bag on the right. Run through that one. It is perfectly okay. Now, if we tell you to go to second, what the first baseman should be doing, if there's a play to be made, they should be right here, ready to make a play with their foot on the bag. If they see you coming and the ball's nowhere close, they should give up the bag and move out of the way, right? If they don't, it's obstruction. So when they move out of the way, you go. If they're standing here, I'm not saying you're not intentionally hurting anyone, but don't go out of your way to avoid the collision, because a little bit of bump right here is obstruction. So if you go, oh gosh, she's there, oh, what should I do? And all of a sudden you're out because you're letting up. That's your bag, go get it, right?
You have, as the runner, you have more right to the bag than the fielder does.
So when you're coming and that person's standing there, I got a little bit of a collision now. I'm not shoving anybody, we're not creating any unnecessary force. But if you happen to bump into them a little bit, so be it, they're in your way. That's the whole point of obstruction. So now, when you do that, you know we have an obstruction call. We're gonna see you in second, right? As I'm approaching second, let's move a little bit. As I'm approaching second, what am I thinking about? What am I looking for? Anybody? Third base coach. As I'm approaching right here, I'm not looking where the ball's at. Do I need to have an idea somewhat of where the ball is? Yeah. Yes. Am I watching where the ball is? Never. I'm not going, where are they at? Are they throwing me out? The person that's going to know that is that guy over there, or gal. The third base coach is looking, and they're going to be doing this, more than likely, giving you a stop sign, or they're going to be waving you on. I might not be screaming if I'm over there and saying, come on, come on, come on, because I don't want to tell the infielders you're coming. I might just be doing one of these. Okay, like just keep coming. So if I'm giving you this and you're here, is there anything to think about? No, you touch the bag and you just turn and go, because I've already told you, if I've given you the stop sign, don't run through it. Remember, that's the only bag that we can run through. A stop sign means you need to stop on this bag. Okay? What happens if you touch, turn, and come back? They're going to get you out more likely. And then this becomes the same thing. Now I'm here, I'm waiting, I'm watching. We're getting our leads together, especially if there's one on first and second. Right? Same thing at third. Third's going to be the exact same thing. And it's real important to get a good secondary lead, a good lead off the base when the ball's pitched. It's real important at third, right? Because we're going to go score. All right? So, any questions about second yet? Okay, let's get down here. Another thing that's important, again, about being on third base and a runner on first, less than 2 outs, is we will almost always steal second at that point, because it's a free pass. They're not going to try to throw you out because they have a runner on third, right? This is the same for us when we're in the field. So if we have a runner on third and a runner on first, second base is open, no one's there, we are always going to take second, okay? Because I want them to try to throw you out because this person's about to go score. All right, does that make sense? So it's real important here that we're ready, we're watching the timing of the pitcher, and we're timing that when she's coming through the bottom of her windmill or circle, if you call it, and she gets here, we're moving so that when the ball comes out of her hand, we are leaving the bag at the same time, okay? And then we're getting a really good lead, and we got to be aware of probably what do we got to be aware of at this point? If we're getting a good lead when the ball's pitched, you better know how good your catcher is, right? Because she'll wing the ball back. You got to know where third baseman is. If that third baseman is creeping up with you, I mean, they're going to throw you out. Sometimes you won't even know, and they'll slip the shortstop in behind you. So you got to be aware that you're getting a big lead and giving yourself a chance to score, but not so big that you can't get back, because you got to know your timing, you got to know her arm. And we'll talk about that throughout the game. We'll watch during warm-ups. We'll watch and test her a couple of times and see what kind of arm does she got. When's the best time to see that? During warm-up. When she throws down to second, right? Every catcher throws down to second on the last pitch of a warm-up. That's when you know what kind of arm she's got. If she's lobbing rainbows and can't get it there, we're going to be ready to run. If she's firing it on a rope and the second base is catching it, we're probably going to be more conservative and pick our spots a little more wisely, I guess. Any questions so far? I know it's a lot of information, especially if you haven't done it before.
Running between the ball and the field, if you're running right in the ball.
Well, if you're running the bases, it's your responsibility to not touch the ball, first of all, and not get in their way. But here's the other thing. What if we leave the bag early? What happens?
You're out.
You're out. Okay?
So if they still have it, the pitcher.
If the pitcher has the ball and you mistime it and leave, you're out. Okay? Now, yeah, I mean, technically if the ball's not in the circle yet, if she's making an attempt to throw, you can be off the bag. When she gives up and she puts her hands down, rests the ball, whatever, you've got to get back to your bag. And you got to get back in a hurry. Again, you'll hear us say, get back means get back right now. Get back to the bag. That might mean diving back. That might mean, hustling back, sliding back, whatever. But here's another thing it's important about third base. Why are we here and not here?
Because she might be there and trying to.
Anybody else? We're foul over here, right? So if this is really the foul line, third base is right here. So when you're here, you're in foul territory. The important thing about being in foul territory is this is also called the hot corner. This is where the ball is getting down in a hurry. One, you got to be paying attention so you don't get hurt, because the ball is coming down this line fast. Secondly, if the ball hits you and you're standing here, you're out. If you're standing here, it's foul. So put yourself in a position to not get an easy out by getting hit with the ball.
If you make it, like say you're on first running to second, and you make it to there or whatever before they get the ball, but it's like foul, you have to go back to first.
Yes. So on all fouls, we are going, when you advance, if the ball is foul, you're always going to go back. So other good things about base running. If the ball is hit in the air and you're on the base, what do you have to do? Can you just take off?
No, unless you have 2 outs.
Maggie, if it's no outs and you're standing here and the ball's hit high in the air, what do? You stay here. You stay here. That's called tagging up, right? Now what you're going to do is when the ball is pitched, you're already here. You see the ball is hit and it's hit way high in the air, you're going to have to come back. And you wait and you wait and you wait and it's caught, and the second it's caught, you're gone. That's tagging up, okay? Or if the ball's hit kind of on a line drive, I'm right here. I get my big lead. The ball's hit. I stop. It's caught. I got to get back in a hurry, right? I got to dive back.
We can still run even if it's caught.
after
No.
you have to tag up.
You have to
So-
get the bag again.
Why are we, oh, you're fine. Why are we running right now? Initially, why are we running? Because the ball's been pitched.
Yeah.
Not
so,
yet, right?
so this first part
So-
is getting the lead off.
This is my lead. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. The ball gets hit, and it gets hit hard on the ground. Nothing to think about. I'm turning and going.
Yeah.
The ball gets hit high in the air. I'm waiting, and then I'm like, oh, she might catch it. I better get back here and tag up. If it's, and there's a lot of this, it's a lot of information. If it's hit shallow, I may sit here and wait and say, oh, she caught it, I'm gonna go back. Oh, she dropped it, I'm gonna go. If it's hit real deep, I'm gonna go ahead and come back and say it doesn't matter if she catches it or drops it or not. As soon as I know, I'm gonna take off and score. Again, if I'm going on the lead, boom, the ball's hit, it's on the ground, I'm not even gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going full speed. Depending on the field we're playing at, depending on the backstop position, what it's made of, how sturdy it is, how hard the pitcher throws, how close it is versus how deep it is. All those things are gonna determine on if it's an automatic go after a pass ball. Pass ball meaning the pitcher threw it and the catcher missed it, right? A lot of times, CLO and Sarita and Maggie, you're probably gonna go no matter what. Just, you run well. You run really fast, you're moving. I'm gonna take my chances that as long as you don't stop and you're here and you get a great lead and that catcher doesn't catch the ball, you're probably always gonna go ahead and go. You're just gonna go and we're gonna try to score you. Now, obviously, when I say don't catch the ball, I don't mean she blocks it, it falls down and she can pick it up. I mean it gets past her in some form or fashion, okay? Now, if you don't run as well, it might not be an automatic go because I'm not going to give up an out at home when we got a runner on third and a good person coming to hit that just probably going to drive them home, okay? There's a lot of things that go in and what we're going to do with this person here on how many outs do we have, who's coming up to bat, where are we at in the lineup, things like that. How many runs do we have yet? I'm trying to get to the top of the lineup and we got a lot of, I mean, there's reasons I can tell you that I might hold this runner on an obvious, we could go score right there. Because now we're at the top of our lineup, we go score, we're in the inning, we get to start the next inning at the top of our lineup, right? So there's lots of reasons why, we'll explain those as those situations present themselves or why we did it, just so we can further our softball IQ, learn more about the game, okay?
Yes, sir.
Again,
Above anything, just listen to your base coaches. We'll tell you what
when
to
in
do.
doubt, listen to your base coach, okay?
Not even when in doubt,
Yeah,
just
just
always.
True. Yes, ma'am.
How many like fouls is it to?
So
like,
fouls
before you
are
get out?
unlimited. Like you can foul 50 times in a row. It does not matter.
Unless
you are bunting. That's why we do not bunt with three fouls. 2 strikes, 2 fouls, whatever. Because once I've got a full count, if I go to foul, it's an automatic out. I mean bunt and I foul, it's an automatic out. If I've got a full count and I foul off 25 in a row, it doesn't matter to you. And again, a full count, yeah, you get 4 balls and you get a free base. If you get 4, you go. You get 3 strikes. So a full count would be like 3 balls and 2 strikes, meaning the next one matters, right? The next one you're either out or walk. Right, you're going no matter what. So while we're talking about tagging up, listen up girls, we're talking about tagging up on less than 2 outs. No outs, or 1 out, right? We're gonna tag up. If we have 2 outs and the ball's hit way far in the air, what are we doing? We're running. Why? If she catches it, it doesn't matter. It was out anyway. We're done anyway. It's the end of the inning. She drops it, everybody's good. So I don't care where you're at. If there's 2 outs and the ball is hit high in the air, we are running. Because it's either going to be caught and it's in it or dropped and we have advanced, okay? Forces. Everybody know what a force is? Who does not know what a force is, okay? So if if we have a runner on first and you are standing on second, the ball's hit on the ground, you are forced to run. You have no choice but to try to get to third, because the person who hit it's going to first, person on first is coming to second, you are forced to run. If you, even if you're on, so now if you're on third,
Me too.
ladies, if you're on third, no one's on second, and we have a runner on first, and the ball is hit right back to the pitcher, you don't have to go, right? Because pitcher's standing there at the ball and they're going to throw you out at home. But no one's coming to replace you. Look at it that way. So it's not a force. That's when you're running the bases. When you're fielding the bases, if it's not a force and the person's not forced to come to third, but third base has the ball, they must tag them out. Okay? They can't just step on the base and say you're out. You could stand here with the ball and that person could come up and walk in and touch the bag without you touching them, they're safe. You have to tag them. If they're forced, meaning there's a runner on first and second, the ball is hit to me, all I gotta do is hit the ball, tag the base. Because it was a force, they're out automatically.
First is for
Obviously, first base is always the force.
So do you have to stand on the bag when you tag them, or just tag them?
Well,
You could tag them out here if you wanted to.
so if you're talking about tagging the runner, standing on the bag there's nothing to do with standing on the bag. Tagging the runner, you can tag them here. I can be on the bag. Matter of fact, there's no reason to be on the bag if you're trying to tag them, okay? The only thing about the bag, I guess, when it comes to tagging, is being in a position to receive the ball to begin with. So if I'm on third and I'm holding the runner here, I've got a runner here and I'm playing third base, I want to be in a position where I can get the ball and tag the runner, right? So I might receive the ball here so I can tag real easily. Or if the ball's coming this way, I might receive it and tag them out. But that's the only thing to do with where you should be in relation to the bag if you're trying to tag them. So if I get the ball, runners on first and second, I get the ball really hot to me, meaning it's coming fast. My first thought is I'm going to tag and I'm going to try to throw the girl out at first who just hit the ball. Because the second I touch this bag, she's out. She no longer matters. A lot of times you'll see people come over here, tag the base, and they're like watching the runner who's out. Like, I just got you out. Yeah, but the whole time you're looking at her, this person's trotting down to first. So if I'm sitting here thinking, and again, it's what we talked about the other day, thinking about what happens if the ball comes to me. So if I'm sitting here and there's no one on, ball comes to me, what am I doing? Throwing to first base, right? I'm throwing to first. Just gonna throw it, get the ball, throw it to first base, nothing to think about. If there's a runner on first, the ball comes to me. Now, if it gets to me in a hurry, and I think the girl on first is kind of slow, and I got a girl in position at second to receive it, I'm gonna try to get the lead runner. So my thought is, ball comes to me, I'm gonna check second, go to one. So I'm gonna check second, oh, I can get her out, go ahead and go. I check second, no one's in position, or she got a good jump, and I don't think I can make her, I'm gonna go ahead and go to first. So now, runners on first and second, I'm telling myself, I gotta force it three. Ball comes to me, I'm just gonna come touch my bag. And then throw to first. Unless there's two outs, now I'm gonna come touch the bag, and we're gonna go score some runs, right?
You will hear us remind you of this all the time. Okay? After every dead ball, before the pitch is pitched, we'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Know what you're doing, that kind of thing. You know, and like if you're playing third, we'll be like, hey, Maggie, ball comes to you, touch your base, go to one. You know, we'll constantly be reminding you.
Okay, and on the flip side, when you're in the field, we'll remind you, but we're relying on you to remind each other. Also, talk it up. What do we got? We got two outs. Plays at one, right? So if I got a runner coming to second, nobody on, or coming to third, there's a runner on second, nobody on first. We got two outs. I get the ball. Do I care if she's coming and if I should try to tag her, or do I care about getting to my bag? What's my only thought? Throw to first and get the easy out.
when
It's
they
a force, nothing to think about, right?
So is that what you're saying? That when they say plays at one, you get the ball and go to one?
When you hear plays at one, that means plays at one. Plays at first. So this is first, second, third, home. You'll hear this was first, second, third. You'll say 4, 4, 4. 4 is the fourth base. It's home, right? If at any point in time you're hearing terminology that you're not aware of, please ask. Some people have been doing this for longer than we care to admit. Some people haven't. That's okay. If there's a term that you don't know, ask that, because it's important that you know. I mean, that's the only way you learn it. I would also highly advise, I'm going to put it in the group meeting, highly advise you to watch softball. Watch some college softball. There's tons of it on. Some of y'all know girls at other districts that have softball teams playing in high school. Let's go watch them. Y'all want to get together and all go watch a Forney game? I think that's a great idea. We want to go watch a Royce City game, whatever. I'm in. I'm just saying, y'all get together and go do that. What else are we talking about? I'm not going to get into, that's about it, base running. Is there anything that we can, the only other thing is we will work on this at some point. If you hear us say get down means we're sliding. Sliding takes a little bit of work, but it's more natural than you think, honestly.
Don't do it in shorts, guys.
Yes, so if we say get down, it just means slide, and what it means is I am for sure you're out if you don't slide. The other thing is, and you know how, I don't know if your folks are baseball gurus, whatever, baseball and softball stuff, it's real traditional. There's just things about it that, hey, it's just the way it is. One of the things I can tell you is that if you're in an obvious slide situation and you don't slide and the play is close, they will call you out, because that's just the way it is. You did not get the benefit of the doubt. You didn't give the effort you should have gave. So I've seen girls come in and pull this, like they come in this way and they're like, they should have slid, but they do this and the tag is up high. Well, a lot of times I've seen that person called out where their foot actually beat it, because the fact is this person's up here with the ball. It's obvious that you should have slid, and had you done that, you'd be clearly safe. So since it's close, I'm just gonna go ahead and call you out. That doesn't make it right, it just makes it the way it is. So even if you think you can beat it, if we tell you to get down, because we don't want you called out on an awesome play, okay? Yeah. I think that's mostly it, base running. I know that was a whole lot of info. We'll get to some other stuff later. Let's start with questions on that. Maggie? You did?
I'm good.
No? Good? Are you sure? Anything? Nothing? You got it down, right?